Are you guys ready to watch a 45 minutes video? Are you guys happy to enjoy a 45 minutes video with me, guys? I'm gonna go watch this. Okay. Okay. Wait, let me mute the thingy. Let me mute the background thingy. And let me pull out the browser first and foremost. Okay. Boop. Okay. So I think there was like the video that I watched when the whole Arknights collab came out, right? Oh look, it's me right there. Like when the whole Arknights collab came out, right? And I was like, oh yeah, sure, that's not really interesting, honestly, because one of the main things about, you know, mostly me just playing Limbus Company, I didn't know anything about the collab at all whatsoever. 45 minutes of copyright video? Most likely. Don't worry about it. If something bad happens, I'm just gonna delete the bot. I mean, mostly, I don't really know how it works, to be honest. But I'm really curious about these videos. I wanted to watch it with you guys. Because number one, I don't know anything about Arknights, and I barely know stuff about Limbus Company, so I was really curious about like the whole lore behind the whole collaboration. Because for what I saw online, a lot of people like the lore, because it makes justice to Arknights, how the story works a bit there. So I was really curious about how it went, to be honest. Okay, let me start. Let me see. Oh, let me put it from the beginning so I can hear everything. Wait, my headset is not working. Ta 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 para pa pa pam. This one? Is this one? I think it's this one. Yeah, it's that one. Why not? Wait. Sorry. Checking the sound.
Arknights stories related to this event.
Okay, there it is. Okay. Like, it was someone who actually researched a lot about the Arknights thingy. I think they play Arknights too. So it's like a full insight about the game.
Even now, I'm still genuinely surprised this collab happened. Like, I read all the Arknights stories related to this event to prepare for it, played through it again, and yet I'm still a little shocked this came to be. Because Arknights is legitimately one of my favorite games of all times. Not one of my favorite gachas,
honestly, I'm surprised
favorite games. I think it's a masterpiece.
They were able to read everything about Arknights because there's so many characters.
Before I even got into making videos, collab with a series I've been playing for, damn, at this point, 4 years, literally feels like I have used all of my luck to manifest this, and because of that, in the next...
Wait. Imagine I just randomly get spoiled about Library of Runa from watching this video. Yeah, honestly, okay.
8 days the plane's gonna crash into my home and obliterate me. I don't know. But because I've been playing these games for so long, there's a lot for me to explain when it comes to the lore of this event. Because no exaggeration,
okay.
the difference in this event story to people who know the lore of Arknights compared to those who don't is massive. People who don't know the lore will likely view this as an interesting collab story that gives some hints of further developments in the story and was done in such a way to where people who are only vaguely familiar with either game can enjoy it. But if you know Arknights lore, unironically, this event has some of the most important lines to answer the main question the entire story is built on.
Explosion, no, it's not that much massive.
If you know absolutely nothing about Arknights lore, you probably think I am crazy after saying that. Because at the end of the day, the Seaborn, what this event is centered around, ain't even like a main story thing, bro. They're a side event. So then the question is, how...
Oh, wait! Wait, weren't the main thing that about the Seaborn, like, they were supposed to be like one of the, in Encapsulates collection terms, they would be like supposed to be like a kind of race that can like infect other people, something like that. Like, I don't know if you guys have played Encapsulates collection, but you know how in Encapsulates collection, they're like these other factions that are supposed to be like the Abbeys, in a way to say it. And they were supposed to be able to like capture people, turn them into like on their side and stuff like that. So I thought the Seaborn was like the main enemy of Arknights, actually. I didn't know they were just like a side story, like the same as Grand Blue Fantasy side story, like something that just happened once in a while. Oh yeah, just animals, just rabies animals. Oh, I see.
How is this event so important for Arknights lore, yet someone who doesn't really know it can still enjoy it? How can those two coexist? Well, the short answer is PM has a go-to team of writers. The long answer is the rest of this video. Because when it comes to Arknights, the best part to me is the world building, but when it comes to explaining the game's story or introducing people to
really well known about their lore,
to be honest. Its greatest hindrance. Arknights' world building is so interconnected to where if I wanted to talk about something that's happened in the plot of one area, I'll more than likely need to bring up something else within the story as context. And that is what makes the world building feel real, but maybe it's a little too real because the rest of this video is dedicated mostly to explaining Arknights' lore. I can just that much lore too properly and fully explain why this event hits harder when you know the lore. Now, I am going to break down the egos and why they're near perfect matches for each of the sinners, but the rest of this video is going to be about...
Oh yeah, I want to know that. Like, why they collab with each other, to be honest. Wait, can hear the video? Oh.
When Ji-hoon, the CEO of Project Moon and director of
Limbus, how there? Is the volume there fine?
Arknights account on stream and showed how developed it is. Yeah, I'm gonna say it.
Oh yeah, I saw this. Like, is the volume there right there? Fun fact: I can never use Ishmael Ego once after getting it. I'm so cool. What do you mean? I use it all the time when I can. But yeah, I saw about this. Like, what's the name of this guy? The director for Project Moon. You know? Like, I remember. Oh man. Okay, they just say his name, and I forgot about it already. But yeah, like, he's actually like a heavy player of Arknights. Yeah, Kim Ji-hoon. Okay, Kim. Yeah, Kim. Director Kim. Like, Director Kim is a really really immersed into Arknights player. Like, his account is basically has, like, everything. Full level up. Like, 100% level up. Is this what the Project Moon fandom do? Yeah, they just go and play. They go and play another gacha game, and when the new Kanto comes out, they come back.
This event came to be because they love Arknights. So much to where it perfectly encapsulates what the story is about, and I want to explain that to anyone who doesn't know the lore. And on the other side, I want to explain what this collab has done that's important for Arknights' lore for the Arknights players who haven't touched Limbus Company. And there are going to be spoilers, however, I will mark them out for which episodes/events they spoil, and where to skip in the video to avoid them. Though,
okay, these mostly Arknights spoilers, I don't think I really mind it.
Spoilers. It's hard to explain what the story is built around without doing that. And when it comes to spoilers, here's something I want to say that I don't think you need to follow it, but I do wish to get my thoughts out there. And it's that I love Arknights' story.
Someone just freaking die on screen, Jesus.
To get into, especially when you go from Limbus. In Limbus, the stories are mostly voice acted.
Wait. Called Sleeper Agent for a reason. That's why Project Moon fans are everywhere, but there's no new content. They just spread it across countries. Yeah, exactly. It's not a spoiler you know nothing about. Like, honestly, that's a fair thing about, like, when you don't know something about a game. Everything there is just like the information for you, so there's no spoiler because you didn't even know what the hell's going on whatsoever. Give me my Lanacy back. Stop rolling! What progress is about to happen? But yeah, it's like really cool because like the project start, like the collab isn't like one of those collabs that they just made it out of like for the sake of money. I mean, they most likely they did. But Director Kim actually loves to play Arknights too. Like, he's a big Arknights player, which is really cool because that means all the stuff that got put into the game was 100% like, you know, stuff that he kind of understood and knew what was happening with the story, which is really cool, to be honest. But the sad part about it is, like, you don't get the full context about the event unless you come from Arknights, which is like, it's understandable. They want to like share player base. They want to like, okay, you like the story, you can play Arknights. If you like Arknights story, maybe one day they're gonna get like a Limbus Company event. It would be really fun, but I don't really know what that was gonna happen. You haven't even gave us 1,000 for 22 bucks. Use any choice. Could you use a yellow and blue type of lighting? Wait, a yellow or blue type of lighting? Wait. Like on myself or wait. Let me see if I can do something. Yellow or blue type of lighting? Let me see. I can make it a little yellowish, kinda? Oh, that's really blue. Wait. Okay, yellow doesn't seem to change a lot. There's some people in the community gaslighting each other whenever Melee posted a use on an album. Kinda like the Metal Gear Solid fandom being gaslighting for mistaken invisible. Oh yeah, actually I saw the other day that Melee actually, there's been this game called Ender Lilies. And Ender Lily seems to be like have music from how you call it? They have music from Millie too, which is really cool. Oh, highlight for my hair. Oh, okay, yeah, I cannot really like modify that part. I mean, I could try it maybe in the future. You know, we can always have like different outfits. Maybe in the future. Maybe in the future. Okay, let's continue with the video.
And are relatively quick to get through. In Arknights, there's no voice acting in the story aside
yeah, we're on
really
Canto 6 right now on the story.
And the word count of the entire story is longer than reading the Bible front to back 3 times over. By the way, I am not a joke. I am being dead ass. To me, it's not really too big a deal, and the newer events have had much better pacing, so I'm fine with it.
The Bible?
If you are looking into playing the game and reading the story, after you heard me say that, there's a non-zero chance you decided you're never gonna touch the game. Which is why I want to say that if you're looking into playing Arknights, hearing spoilers about the story might not be terrible because it could make you interested enough to actually play it.
Yeah, actually that's really cool.
Step. And hell, when it comes to me personally, I've experienced like half of the event stories and still enjoyed them after being spoiled about them, mainly because the community just has a fucking problem with tagging spoilers, especially considering the 6-month gap between CN and Global. But I just want to say that end of the day,
yeah, they just love to spoil people.
That was just my 2 cents as someone who knows the story. But to start off
okay, I see.
Let's talk about what the Seaborn are, the basics. This is the bare bones explanation and just gives more context to what the game explained, so no spoilers for it on that front. But the Seaborn are a collective hive mind that refer to themselves as the We Many. The main trait of them is their adaptability. Because of this, Aegir has a weapons classification system they use against the Seaborn. They separate the weapons into tiers and use the bare minimum effective weaponry against them to slow their evolution as much as possible. And the main reason this could be done is because Aegir's technology is way more advanced than any other nation in Terra, which says a lot when you look at the world. I mean, you got—
Wait. So the Seaborns are just like a hive mind? No, the chart was about how many words like the game has compared to other books. Like Arknights stories supposedly have like 3 times the Bible back and forth. Yeah. So it is like supposed to be like the thingy about that. But so the Seaborns are mostly like a hive mind. Like a little like the— how you call them on Warhammer? The hive mind in Warhammer? What's their name? Wait, hive mind Warhammer 40k. The Zerg? No, that's StarCraft. Oh, the Tyranids, yeah! Yeah. So basically the Seaborn are like the Tyranid from Warhammer, right? Because they keep evolving. So they keep evolving, they get like more knowledge about what's going on. And you cannot like really kill them. You mostly can just stop them for a few moments, right? Yeah, but the chart wasn't about player, but the chart was about how many wars the story has, 100%. Like how long the story is. Like honestly, I think the only other game who has like a lot of wars would be like Vagrant Order. I don't really know how much they are like compared to one another. But I will say like I think Arknights and Vagrant Order are like the top 2 text-based gacha games. I don't think anyone has like more lore about those 2, at least in text, because most of the time they're like voiced.
Victoria making steampunk mechs, Columbia pushing the boundaries of science, ethically or not, and Ursa speaking damn near eldritch abominations when it comes to their Emperor's blades. Yet none of them hold a candle to Aegir. Before the Seaborn went to attack, they had constant debates to find the best course of their country. They engaged were very talented in all of the arts, singing, sculpting, dancing, you name it. Hell, they even had—
I didn't know Arknight had animation side in game. I thought that was mostly just like PGs.
When the Seaborn nation attacked. Well, not really much of a nation, more so a force of nature, but you know. However, the entirety of Aegir was derailed, and instead of focusing on going to the stars, they fully dedicated themselves to taking out the Seaborn. They view it as their duty to the rest of Terra, and thank fuck they do. Because unironically, without them, everybody's dying. Yeah, this is an exaggeration,
so that's why.
Everybody's dying. To put it into perspective, and this is not spoilers, just it's alternate timeline stuff, so don't worry. In an alternate timeline where the Seaborn had a god that got them past Aegir, they either killed or assimilated everyone on Terra. Aegir was the biggest threat. After that, people went down like dominoes, even with everyone on Terra working together, for once, to try and stop them after they became too big of a
Okay, so Aegir is really... Oh, okay.
Shows the difference between Aegir's ability to handle the Seaborn compared to the rest of the world. Let's look at the Profound Silence. So at one point in time, Iberia wasn't a shithole. Surprising, I know. In fact, they had a golden age where they controlled most of the southern coastline. They were one of the most formidable nations, and their biggest strength was their navy. The technology was bolstered by Aegirians that had come to land and helped them, but those Aegirians also tried to warn Iberia. They warned them about the Church of the Deep and the Seaborn, but it really did nothing. During that time, Iberia had...
So Igor will be like a kind of Atlantis in this world. Like, they just have like the edge of technology and everything.
Was wiped away when the Profound Silence came. The best explanation for it is from the Inquisition records of it. The ocean sank into an unprecedented silence. Anomalies appeared across the shore as violently ebbing tides and irregular waves heralded the coming of disaster. All sounds were smothered, from waves crashing against the shore to the chiming of city clock towers. All noise faded away until the voices of the people all disappeared as well, until the wind was still. The profound silence came without a sound. Then what plunged Iberia into its current state was a tsunami. A tsunami that wiped out most of their naval fleet, the lighthouses, and sank the capital of Iberia. Which is why...
So even the ocean is freaking dangerous there! Yeah, fishing is not... Bro, imagine not being able to fish at all.
The islands you can see in the sea were once peaks of mountains, and the Seaborn took control of all of that water.
Like, you're actually out of the... You cannot even go to the ocean or anything, like go to the beach. There's no beach over there.
The Inquisition being formed, and their politics were...
I love fish.
Because of the Church of the Deep, the Inquisitors took action against pretty much any Aegir that was on land, either by forcing them to leave Iberia, taking them in for questioning, or killing them.
Now, so that's why the Inquisition was there.
Because it is. But Irene's take is pretty much the most moral one from an Inquisitor on this, where she believes that what Iberia did was morally bankrupt, but it was needed as Iberia was a country teetering on the brink of collapse. Because of the silence in the church, and the church wasn't doing unimportant stuff to Iberia either. Before the silence, they had infiltrated Iberia's own churches and changed their religious texts to align with what they want of humanity. And after the silence, went around to people of Iberia and preached to them
that's such a cool weapon.
Was just another step before they reached the utopia of assimilation.
I like her weapon a lot.
They essentially were drawing the blood out of an already near-passing body. But it's for this reason why what Irene was saying and doing at the village in the collab seems extreme for Limbus players, while Arknights players could understand that it's necessary. Because the Seaborn are capable of ending the world, and the Church of the Deep is aiding them constantly and has roots so deep in Iberia to where it can never fully be drawn out.
Oh, so that's the... Okay, I can finally understand. Yeah, because at first, when we saw the event, she was like, oh yeah, we just need to freaking wipe everything out. And seems a bit excessive. But now that knowing that the Seaborn are like really freaking parasites, that... Okay... I wouldn't call it really parasites, I would call them more like a hive mind that just keep evolving and just keep like getting stronger and stronger and stronger every time you fight them. And they have like a freaking church that for some reason, I don't even know why this is a thing in every universe. There's always one faction who thinks, yeah, let me just help the freaking parasite hive mind. You know? Man, many female characters with dang weapons are undeniably here me. Oh yeah, I love the one from Night Rain. I love her design, the Revenant.
But that is it for the basic explanation. Now,
so that's why she went like ballistic on that part.
Why the Seaborn came to be. So spoilers for Babel. All main story chapters before it, so 13 to 0, and Path of Life.
Bro, spoilers! Skip to 33 minutes. Bro, that's all the video. That's literally all the video. And then you have another one up here. You have another one here, spoilers. Just... Okay, like, we really want to know about this. I'm not gonna lie, if I ever play Arknights, I'm just gonna forget about it, so we don't worry about the spoilers at all. But damn.
Chapter 14 and 15, But if you've read Babel, that would explain this plotline, and those chapters just call in.
Dude, like the whole video. Spoilers. If you don't want to know more about it, just don't watch the video.
These are major plot spoilers. But the Seaborn have the goal of survival. Above all else, they're a hive mind centered around surviving, because they are one of the very few ways to preserve civilization. The biggest plot point of Arknights is the survival of the predecessors against the observers. The predecessors are a tier 3 civilization that travels throughout the universe, and the Doctor is a part of this race. They land on Terra and start to build life up on that planet. The reason Terra has animal races is because of them. As an umbrella term, they're called the Terrans, and the predecessors...
Oh, they call the furries! Oh!
And they're even the reason they look human. So essentially, to Terra, the predecessors are gods. Not within the sense of having some godlike powers or being revered by the people or anything like that. What they do is still physically possible, and not many people know about them. It's the technological differences between the predecessors and the Terrans which make the difference between these civilizations so vast. And the observers are... well, the best descriptor is the word of the Doctor before their amnesia. They equate civilizations and their growth, schemes, machinations, triumphs, and glory all to a tranquil forest, where a tree represents a world or a collection of planets all host to the same civilization. That tree represents all of its people on it, and in this forest, the predecessors are also just a tree, and the observers are the lumberjack. The trees do not know the origin of this lumberjack, do not know why it cuts them down, but they can do nothing to stop it. That is the difference between them. We do not know what the observers are. We do not know why they do what they do. We just know.
The heads would be pissed if those Terrans were in the city. Honestly, I mean, I didn't thought that it would be so much about it. You know? Okay, so there's this civilization who mostly like is the main reason why they have like half animal, half humans in the Arknights universe. But they're not like some kind of divine entity, like something like they're just advanced. Anyone could make it if they had like the technology for it. But the main reason why they're so worshipped because like they disappeared, they died, they went away.
Know that even though the predecessors have technology that can have them travel throughout the universe, they view the difference between them and the observers as they are the lumberjack and the predecessors, hell, every civilization in the universe, are the tree. Which is also where I want to clarify. If you don't know the lore of Arknights, you may think, with this being the central conflict, it's a story like Gurren Lagann or something like
exactly,
that.
like the Spirals and Anti-Spirals.
Together and go into the cosmos to fight them, and it's very much not like that.
Oh,
it's
okay.
It's a character-driven story. Either from characters dying for their ideals, fighting against their fate, or atoning for what they've done and what the world has made them do. But also because the threat of the observers is not something they can fight. It is not something Terra can come together and challenge. It is something they can flee and hide from, and that is it. Not to even mention that most of Terra doesn't even know about the predecessors, let alone the observers. Like, for example, the reason Aegir is so advanced is because they found technology left by the predecessors. It's the reason behind their extraordinary growth. But if the predecessors are so advanced, where are they in the story?
Yeah, what happened to them?
The dregs of their technology.
They're like the Forerunners in Halo.
Place of the predecessors. It's because the observers have already killed most of the ones on Terra. From the passing explanations we've heard of it, it was described as a crisis. Not a battle, not a war. A crisis where the observers came and most of the predecessors were wiped out. Only a few survived. And after the crisis, the predecessor shielded Terra with the Star Pod. It was a creation where it would pretty much be an energy barrier around Terra. It's invisible, yet it causes anything attempting to go beyond it to fail. Because of this, any aircrafts in Terra need to operate at lower altitudes, but the reason it exists is to visually shield what is happening.
What the? Bro! So, okay, they couldn't even make it to space because this thing that literally just shuts them down. Like, they couldn't even go up the freaking Everest mountain, for example. Okay, so that's the shield, that's the ground, that's the shard. And if they go, like, above a certain level, it just shuts down. Like, it just goes into free fall, 100%. Like, there's nothing they can do about that at all. Oh. Damn, so they're stuck on the planet. They can't even go, like, to the planets or anything.
What is out there in the universe? It is essentially a fake sky. Because of this, in Terra, you can't find where to go by looking at constellations or anything like that in the real world. The stars are constantly shifting. The only thing you can see beyond it accurately are the twin moons of Terra. That's it. It made Terra unable to think about going out into space, minus the Aegir who were trying because they had the technology of the predecessors. But to put it into perspective, the people of Terra do not know what the word universe is. The actual world itself is a concept they cannot understand, and they're not unadvanced. They got cities and technologies equal to real-world stuff, but this star pod cut off space to where no one knows anything about it. It's a shield for Terra. You can break it, but that requires so much energy, and given a bit of time, it'll just repair itself. That is the level of what they were aiming to do to just survive. They had other plans as well. Most of them.
So it's not like they don't want. They just it could be like
was a seaborn.
A waste of resources to do it.
They are essentially gods native to Terra, and the predecessors bioengineered them to become living arcs to preserve humanity.
Oh my god, what the hell is that?
The ones who were meant to be the arc came to be known as the Firstborn. However, the experiment ended prematurely because the observers were wiped out by most of the predecessors before it could be completed. Because of that, the Firstborn aren't doing what was intended of them. There's a few of them to talk about, but I'll only focus on two, Asharmala and the Primordial Lifespring. So, during an Aegarian expedition into the Manta ruins left by the predecessors and what the Aegarians believed to be the birthplace of their civilization, an Aegarian named Martis made contact with Asharmala. And there he saw visions of what wiped out the predecessors, and over the course of many days of contemplation, thought that humanity was doomed. But he also saw visions of the Firstborn devouring all life and evolving to the point of even being able to feed on celestial bodies as a way to evolve and survive. He saw visions of civilization having no hope for a future, and then was shown one small possibility of survival. And because of that, he willingly ate one of Asharmala's cubs that offered to be eaten and turned into a Seaborn. From there, he escalated the growth of the Seaborn's assimilation, with the goal of just giving humanity a chance to live. He thinks Aegir and the entire world should help the Seaborn, that they are genuinely a savior for them.
Are they dumb?
Because of this, the Church of the Deep was founded.
Yeah, bro, help the parasites. Why not?
Though the Church of the Deep's efforts are what led
to like a great idea.
Because the tsunami that wiped out half of Iberia wasn't a random natural disaster. It was the Primordial Lifespring, which was a Firstborn that became one with the sea after dissolving into it. And the Church of the Deep tried to revive it, causing the tsunami that wiped out Iberia. And if it could merge with Asharmala, it would cause the entirety of Terra to be flooded. Then they would be assimilated into the Wee Many. So the point of the Seaborn is, they're a possibility for survival.
Ouch.
One avenue to survive the crisis. But because they weren't fully completed, their goal shifted from being an arc into what they are now. And what the Church of the Deep say isn't a lie. Objectively, they are a way to survive. But that returns to the central moral question of Arknights. Is it fine for one civilization to control the fate, the trajectory, the lives of another if they do not have a way to survive what will wipe them out? And this is a question that is expanded on and debated in the main story, and the collab gives a very direct line for that question, which, to be honest, we're yet to see even the main story of Arknights do. So this is me saying, the spoilers from here are going to include chapter 14.
Oh, more spoilers. So okay, so even the... Yo, I fell asleep for like 10 No, it's like it's mostly talking about the story about how the Seaborn are like this kind of high-mind entity that was hunting like the primordial... they were called like predecessors? Observers, who were hunting like the predecessors, who were supposed to be like the primordial class, who had like a lot of technology. Like, you know that Chamber will call them like the Flood, and the predecessor would be like the Forerunners? It kind of remind me a little about Halo. But, so then they created these two things that were like experiments, first and foremost. So, how you call them? What's the name they put them? The Primordials? No. The thing is, the shit, okay, the sea creature basically are just like entities that just keep evolving and absorb. Aegir are like a technology, kind of like Atlantis, a civilization like Atlantis, who mostly use technology from the predecessors to call them back, but they just keep evolving, so it's like a really infinite battle between them. But if the Aegir will disappear at one point, literally the rest of the Earth, the rest of the Terra, wouldn't be able to like fight them back at all. And the main reason why in the Collab and Limbus company, why the Inquisitor had like such a radical like idea how to deal with them, was because they're literally like unstoppable once they get going. I find it so weird watching this because I'm making a VTuber character that's part of a hive mind whose creation was made with the purpose of survival. Of my god. Do we like that? You know, it's like the zombies. You know how normally in most TV shows, when something like allegedly consumes humanity, it's because at first that thing was supposed to keep humanity safe? Like, the best way to deal against humanity is to create something that can modify the DNA. Or can learn something from the DNA and just become immune to it, you know? Like, the best way to kill humanity is just let a human do their stuff, to be honest.
As I said earlier, the Doctor is one of the predecessors, though
Oh, hi, Warden!
I won't call them the Doctor for now. Instead, I'll be calling them Oracle, because that's what they're known as to the predecessors, and it makes a clear distinction between the Doctor before
Oh, so the Doctor is one of the... Oh!
They're the same person within the body and all that, but I'll be using different names to help distinguish the mental state they were in regards to amnesia. However, they came with the predecessor Satera, and their closest travel companion, though in her words, even explaining their relationship as intimate would be a belittlement of it, was Priestess. And just like the rest of their civilization, they were looking for a way to survive the crisis. The answer the two of them came to, what they made for civilization to survive, was Originium. Originium is the life of Terra.
The currency to roll the gacha.
The energy of it, the development. It's what causes people to become infected, and it's what even shaped the cities of Terra to be on nomadic platforms so they can escape catastrophes which happen as a result of Originium dust. And it's even the reason the Terrans evolved to resemble humans. The entirety of Terra is shaped by Originium, and it is not natural. It was man-made by Priestess and Oracle. The possibility it gave humanity was the ability to be assimilated into its own universe, because Originium, even though it can be used for so many different purposes, is able to store vast amounts of information. That was the way to save humanity.
Oh, so it's like the DNA, in a way. In a way like DNA.
What the observers did to them and what the Originium they left after was, said, "On this day, the lumberjack raised his axe as usual, and another tree fell before him. But after the lumberjack turned away, branches sprouted from the stump, and the broken branches rejoined. The clearing made by the lumberjack grew dense with trees once again, and it didn't stop there. Transparent resin engulfed a forest that only existed in stories. Soon, before you, only a beautiful amber remains. Originium will become the beacon, condensed by our civilization.
Oh, so I wait like to
if one
make
day,
humanity
in the universe lose their...
Yeah, that would be like that, bro. Okay, I'm getting so many flashbacks to Halo. Like I'm feeling like I'm able to like match this so much with Halo. So basically, that would be like the ring in Halo. Like this thing includes like all the knowledge, all the information about humanity. So at one point, if this civilization is like wiped out, they can 100% just bring it back. And stronger, because they will not like come back to check them if they're dead or something, and they will be able to protect them.
Our homeland and seek a way to resolve their plight, they will witness that we once shined, we once resisted, and this is where we rest. We once delivered a gift to those who came after us before our annihilation. Hope.
Oh.
But this is where Oracle and Priestess
that's so cute.
Oracle viewed it as a possibility for life to take, a beacon of hope, but not a contract civilization signed to participate in since they were born. Originium should not be forced on civilizations like a bitter pill they need to swallow. It is simply something that
the Doctor of Whisper.
However, Priestess thought that to properly preserve civilization, all information needed to be stored in the assimilated universe. And this difference in ideology is what led to the turning point in the story, Babel. To give a brief explanation to set the stage, the Sarkaz were the first race on Terra to touch Originium. That made their fate tied to the assimilated universe, and whenever a Sarkaz died, they would go to that universe. And thousands of years after that connection was made, Theresa became the king of the Sarkaz. And that is not just a title. All kings have the Black Crown and can see information and memories stored of all the Sarkaz kings prior. Theresa, after going through these memories for many years, finally found that the Sarkaz are slaves to Originium, and she wanted to break that connection, to allow the fate of the Sarkaz to finally be free, to allow them to rest, because they didn't choose to go to the assimilated universe after death, but because they touched the first originium, all Sarkos have, from the moment they were born, been bound to it after their death. So breaking it was her goal, and Babel was how she would mend the civil war with her brother and unite the Sarkos in this goal. And to help achieve this, Kelshi woke up Oracle from their sarcophagus. They stayed in there to preserve themselves until Originium was at a point where it could be used to save civilization, but Kelshi woke them up too early. Originium was yet to grow as much as it needed to. At its current state, it cannot assimilate everyone to escape the surveillance of the observers. But the Doctor traveled the land to see Terran civilization, see what has become of life after thousands of years in stasis. The Doctor traveled the lands and came to love Terra, but also came to be ridden with guilt. Because with all the suffering caused from Originium, they were the source of it. They were the one who helped make Originium. And then later, when they learned of what Theresa planned to do, cut off the Sarkos from Originium, essentially ending the beacon of hope right then and there, they came to a crossroads. Do they let Theresa do this and doom the predecessors that have survived in sarcophagus to death? Because her stopping the project would cut off that lifeline of Originium being able to save them. Or do they stop Theresa and condemn all of Terra to be consumed in Originium? Whatever their choice was, they held the fates of so many lives. On one path, Oracle would condemn all remaining predecessors to death and cut off a ray of hope for the entire universe, but on the other, they would have to betray Kelshi, Amia, Theresa, Babel, and the entirety of Terra they came to love. For a way to survive, not even as people, but as information within a simulated universe. Do they kill their civilization to let Terra be free with no chance to survive the coming crisis, or do they condemn all of Terra because their civilization has a chance to survive? And Oracle didn't know what to do. But this is where Priestess's influence kicked in. See, the predecessors have a brain implant called a linchpin. It helps preserve their memories and consciousness while traveling throughout the universe. It makes their consciousness come to a stimulated world where they can enter into debate with their paired companion. Imagine it as basically...
Ray, I got a question. You're gonna have a 1-year break from now on, right? What 1-year break? Wait, what? What are you talking about? Are you asking me if I'm gonna go away from a whole year? Or what do you mean? No, I don't think so. I don't hope so. Wait, 1-year break? Wait, what? Your scheduled stream? Oh, the scheduled stream is just there to be like. No, the scheduled stream is just a post that I have where I like mostly like just update my schedule more than anything. Like that thing is updated weekly where I just post the schedule for those on YouTube who can like want to see where I'm streaming stuff like that. It's just like a schedule. It's like a schedule placeholder for my schedule. It's just a placeholder where I just update weekly for what I'm gonna do in the week. Don't put much attention about the date because the date is like just there, so I can just change like the thumbnail weekly without any problem at all. Oh, by the way, Timon, congrats on floor 4 the meter dungeon. You got this. Sorry, I'm really interested into the video. I'm really sorry if I'm not like talking too much. I'm like, actually, there's so much about it that I didn't expect it to happen. To be honest, like, I know Arknights was really good with story. It was like one of the big 3, I would say, story-wise, that I knew about. But I didn't know that the whole thing about like the different kind of civilizations and the stuff about like they even have like a war against a hive mind to like chasing them down. Like the first time I played, I just thought it was like a shield tower defense, you know? Like in my mind. In my mind, the whole thing that I knew about Arknights, because I tried once or twice before, but I never got really into the whole. I wasn't able to get into the gameplay because I was like young and I was just like mostly watching into the gameplay, and I was like, tower defense sounds fun, but then eventually like got a little old for me, so I didn't like fully play into it. Gacha game more for infection. I wouldn't say for infection. Like it is just. Oh, sorry. it's just surprising like how much there's like behind the story of a game that you haven't opened before. Like actually playing the game or like watching stuff about the game makes you realize like how little you knew about it. You know? I mean, there's games to games, honestly. Like I always knew that Arknights was like one of the big three lore wise. Like people always say how good the lore of Arknights is. Like 100%. Like if someone mentions Arknights, the first thing that comes up is always the lore. You know, it is always like next to Vagrant Order and what is the other one? I think Reverse 1999. It's like another one people say like had really good lore. But yeah, like I didn't know it was so much about the stuff that was before the collab. Like it is not a normal collab that they do about the stuff like, oh yeah, let me just bring some characters, let me just put some mission to reference about the game, and that's it. Like they actually plan to make the event, the collab event, like have some relevance about the story. Like keep it within the story of the universe and stuff like that. Which is really cool. Because like we knew director Kim really wanted to like really enjoys the game. Director Kim really enjoyed the game, so it was like a collab more out of love than out of just make money, you know?
Dreaming, and Oracle's companion was Priestess. But this comes with a risk where if one's linchpin was modified, it can nudge that person into doubt and follow what the other wants them to do. I've heard people explain it as mind control, but to me, I don't really like that explanation. I view it more as something that can nudge and push someone within a direction. And when you're at the doctor who is teetering on the edge, looking at which civilization they have to betray and kill, that linchpin means a lot. As when the doctor saw the pain that Originium caused Terra, they were consumed with guilt. What they did to try and save everyone caused the infected, catastrophe, suffering, death. It ruined people's lives. But Priestess with Oracle's linchpin to have debates centered around letting the Originium project achieve its goal at whatever cost. And these debates made Oracle question themselves and, in a sense, corrupted them until they reached a breaking point and had to make a decision. I am rather fortunate. I have been able to leap across the millennia to communicate with them. I have even considered myself one of the people of this land for a time, experiencing their past and future. But in the end, I am not of here. I have begun to feel uneasy about Theresa's efforts. If the Originium project ends in failure, no. Even if it is merely postponed for a time, Theresa, Kelshi, even the future that I promised Amia, the inhabitants of this planet, some of the few life forms known to us, are but illusions that will break at the slightest touch. I have been lying to them and to myself for a very long time now, but how will I explain it to Kelshi, or to Theresa, or Amia? Am I supposed to tell them that all the pain they have been through is the key to their salvation and they must stop fighting? That all of Terran civilization is a fleeting dream, and only by being
really
assimilated into Originium will we have the opportunity to avert our fate? Seeing the lives of those they call the infected dissipate like smoke brings pain to my heart. It has long been a common sight on Terra, but it always marks the end of life. Sorrowful and cruel. It has been too long since I've heard a voice full of life. I can't just see them as unexpected sparks, but what I see cannot be called a warrior's death. Rather, they have given in to the Originium's assimilation, passing through death to join the assimilated universe, a chance where life can break through the deepest darkness. Should I bow in silence at their deaths, or should I quietly rejoice at the smooth progression of the project?
Oh, shit.
It is for this reason that Theresa dedicates herself to her research. Kelshi, or Amaten, has also chosen to believe in the potential of Terra, chosen to resist Originium and put an end to war. But what about me?
Yeah, he's the one who needs to make the decision.
On the efforts of countless generations, and in that time, billions of our compatriots have died, all in exchange for a mere 10,000 years that I've spent waiting and waiting. And now, the flint and tinder are in my hands. After all the long years, how could I abandon it? Because Terra has left me pleasantly surprised in a few short years? Because of the choices that Theresa and Kelshi made? Even if Amia has moved me to compassion, would I not have been the selfish one all along? They awakened me to be their salvation, but in truth, I am destined to bring them to annihilation.
Oh.
They awakened me, their destroyer, as if I was their savior. Amia, Kelshi, what should I do? Priestess, what should I do? And
that's fucked up, dude! What? So, even at the end, he's the one who makes the call, like... No. No, that's really messed up. So even at the end, even if they're partners, in a way to say it, wants to, like, stay back and fight, he needs to make the decision, like, to just waste everyone's effort through the generations and try to save Thera. But he had, like, all the responsibility because he's, like, the one who was waking him up to, like, help them. But he knows that he needs to make, like, the call for it, you know? Oh, shit. Mersault already rolls up to 41 with 5. You can find... Okay, damn. I don't know what the new Mersault works with. I haven't get him yet.
Theresis sets Oracle on the path to betray Theresa. They meet with her brother, Theresis, and try to work together. The goal is for Babel to fall, so Originium can consume the lands, and their civilization can survive. Destroy Babel, scatter her followers. Let Theresa in on your plans. Unify the Sarkaz under a Kazdel ruled by the Military Commission.
She and I have never relied on the charity of our enemies in the course of leading Kazdel to where it stands today. It is true that this war will only end with the decisive defeat of one of us. But you should not be the one to propose it. Proceed. Tell me more of why you would make this request, evil spirit of an age long gone.
You already know. There are no surprises here. Considering the near 200 years you and Theresa spent working together, you should be able to guess.
Oh, shit.
I seek the expansion of Originium. Babel's struggles will only prolong the dying gasps of this land, Theresis. No matter if you resist it or accept it, Originium will take on myriad forms, drawing all of creation into her embrace. Have you ever looked up at the sky? Beyond that sky, far beyond the twin moons, there is a place that we would once return to, where we would sleep peacefully. But I am the only one left, here, speaking
and
with
he's
you.
the last one of his civilization.
In the course
Shit.
of the Sarkaz's eternal search for the remains of dead gods to fend off your enemies, have you ever wondered, why did those gods die? The burden I bear is greater than the future of the Sarkaz. If I must destroy some things to create a ladder I hope for, I will do it. It's all I can do. I've already hesitated for far too long.
Destroy some things to create a ladder. You speak lightly of sacrifice.
Nothing light here, Theresis. Believe me when I say you couldn't even conceive of what I've been through.
And where do I see your sincerity for our cooperation? I require an even more direct means to advance this war to the next stage. If you wish for the Babel members to be spared, then so be it. The Military Commission promises you that as long as Babel concedes defeat and departs Kazdel, we will not exterminate those who desert or surrender.
Oh, shit.
But you know what you must do in return. You know what I ask of you. If you truly wish to save the many who stand by your side, make them willingly admit defeat and surrender to me. then slay their king. Destroy some things to create a ladder.
Theresis only agrees if the Doctor creates an opening to kill Theresa. Her being
Oh my
assassinated
god!
is the only way for Babel to fall.
She's like, fine, but let me kill that guy.
Under his banner. And Oracle, with no other choice, agrees. They lead the assassins to Theresa. She is able to kill them all, but is bleeding to death, and given just a bit more time, will die. However, she reaches out to Oracle and knows that, despite the betrayal, they don't truly want this. She knows the sincerity and love they have for the world, Kelshi and Amia, but their memories are chaining them, taking them prisoner and not letting them do what they truly want. So, Theresa decides to take out the Doctor's memories with her arts and erase them, to finally free the Doctor from the chains their memories and Priestess's influence is putting on them, to let them decide how they want to live and what they want to spend their life working towards.
Your memory has gone, and your soul reborn. A truly terrible trick. But they underestimate your benevolence, your desire for victory. They underestimate us, and what makes Terra so tenacious. Doctor, allow me to call you by this name for the last time. This is my little revenge on you. And also,
She fucking
my
died?
final gift to you. Memory
Damn.
does not shape who you are. So, with your original self, live again on this land. See the world. Feel the various emotions life brings. Meet the many people of Terra. Perhaps your journey will start in suffering, and you
Aww.
may manage to escape the murky moon shadows of this land. But you will always get to see the sun rise. I trust you will find a new solution, one that is truly your own. An answer that sounds just like the murmur Kaltzit and I once heard. A most moving answer.
That is why the Doctor has amnesia. It was Theresa's way to save the Doctor, for them to be free. She wants them to come to their own conclusions about the
Oh,
world
so
and how
that's
its
why when you
future
start the
should
game,
be.
you got that.
We
Oh
haven't yet
shit!
done that.
Oh.
In the story, we can vaguely choose who we side with, like small dialogue choices for what we want, and even in an ARG you can debate Priestess and the results show if you side with her or Theresa, and depending on it, a cutscene in Chapter 15 changes a bit, but the story is yet to definitively say where the Doctor lands. They're slowly getting back their memories, but we don't know if they will choose to continue the project or if they'll let Terra fight for their own fate, even though the chances of survival are slim. However, in the collab, we finally hear an answer from the Doctor when it comes to the fate of Terra, saying, "There's no such thing as absolutes when it comes to the value of life. Survival is the right of all civilization. It should never be up to others to define the worth of life." And that line right there is probably one of the most important ones when it comes to what is going to happen in the rest of Arknights' main story. Because while I would be
Oh,
surprised
Majors!
if, after everything, the Doctor betrayed Terra and sided with Priestess, we're still yet to get the clearest single line without the possibility of player choice to change it, which shows they're against her. Now, on the other side, I wouldn't take this line as canon because this is a collab and not canon to Arknights, but it still shows
Aw.
the care for Arknights' story that was put into this. This isn't a collab that happened because they thought it would be good for profit margins. PM didn't just clock in and go, yo, people in our fandom kind of fucks with Arknight. Let's collab with Arknight and do some very uninspired story for it, like you could see in so many different gacha games. Cough, cough, Persona 5. Cough, cough, the most pumpkin spice latte collab every gacha wants to make. It isn't a bland and boring story.
What's Arknights about? For what I know about Arknights, Arknights is supposed to be a game where you need to, like, you know, we're protect the rest of humanity from a virus that is growing, like, all around the land. There's, like, a lot of conflict and war in all the places. So basically, Rhode Island is like an organization that their main objective is to protect and fight the corruption that's happening around the land. That's the main thing that I kind of know about Arknights. Like, I don't really know, like, a lot. I haven't fully played it. I just got, like, the first part of the game and always, like, dropped after that because I forgot my account. Sorry, I forgot my emulator. Because the game doesn't have like a PC release yet. But yeah. And don't worry, yeah. It's fine.
The gang get teleported to the land ship and fight some originium slugs while big chilling with the group, which actually, not gonna lie, pardon me, would have kind of been down to see that, because the only criticism I got for the collab when it comes to the story is the lack of character interactions. Like, there's some funny ones of Kelshi and Foss being hyper nerdy, Dante scaring Amiya with wanting her to pop the sinners, Scotty immediately doing that, but there wasn't too many. Though the central plot of the collab being—
oh yeah, Scotty just kills the sinners without hesitation.
Their life as they want to is so deeply connected to the story Arknights is telling. Either Arc 1, 2, or 3, Babel, Path of Life, Grand Overture, Lone Trail, whatever. It is the most central part of Arknights in the collab. If the plot around it were to be made into an actual story for Arknights, would still be incredibly fitting. You can tell it was made with the current story in mind. If the cantos in Limbus are meant to make you understand the sinner better, this collab is focused on making you understand the world of Arknights and the weight behind the morality of the main story. Especially when it comes to Mayors. She wants to give humanity a chance to survive, but knows deep down that the Seaborn, while giving that chance, are inherently flawed. She, just like a lot of characters in the story, are looking for a chance to survive and make the world a better place. What she goes through in this event is covered a lot in Arknights' story. It's one about people wanting to lessen the hardship of life and make the world just a little bit better or a fair place. Well, at least that's one of the topics covered in it, and this collab perfectly shows it. Yet at the same time, it's still enjoyable for people who haven't touched Arknights, and as a player of both, I loved it. But now for another part that I think they went above and beyond on, let's talk about the egos. I am so glad they did not just assign these based on vibes. Like, they could have just taken the easy way out.
Oh wait, what?
Merso is very Changyu coded cause big man.
Wait, I thought they picked it based on vibes. I was like, oh yeah, they got like Ishmael with the one with the ocean because, you know, Ishmael whale, haha, water. Oh!
It's very Degenbrecher coded cause mommy. Dawn is very neural coded cause Knight and same voice actress. And Gregory is very W coded because cockroach. Not gonna lie, kinda want to see that last one though. But the egos fit honestly a little too well. Like Scotty Ishmael. Spoilers for Undertide. Skip to here if you don't want to be spoiled.
Don't worry about the spoiler, we're fine.
It's already well known in the community because we got a unit that is the spoiler already in the game. But after the Abyssal Hunters killed the Firstborn, Asharmala, it wiped out their forces. There were only 4 left after the battle, and when Scotty dealt the killing blow to Asharmala, she was very weakened and had cuts all over her body. And at that moment, the blood of the Firstborn entered into Scotty. It then mixed with her Seaborn cells, and now there is the possibility that Scotty could awaken Asharmala and essentially revive it, if it takes over her body. You know, that sounds like Ishmael at the wreck of her former ship. Going on an expedition she was forced to by Ahab, and after the ship was swallowed by the Palid Whale, she had nothing. But over time, the influence of what Ahab did to her slowly took over Ishmael, essentially consumed her. And if Ahab had gone her way, Ishmael would have become a shell of her, like Asharmala was Scotty. Minus the lesbianism. Scotty would have a key plague in her story. That's more Spectre and Irene's territory. Then there's Gregory with Mlynar, and yes, I know it's pronounced Mwynar, but I do not care. I think Mlynar sounds better. I will put extra emphasis on the L. But this one, there are some differences in approach, but the destination of how they feel is fairly the same. Gregor, as we all know, hates war. He saw what it does to people and hated that he was a cog in the machine of propaganda that fueled it and ruined so many people's lives. And Mlynar does have a similar situation when it comes to propaganda and being viewed as a symbol of the war. He was a legendary knight, also the son of a national hero for Cashmeres, a nation heavily founded around knights. However, his view of knights' pride and chivalry was torn to shreds after his older brother and sister-in-law went on a mission and vanished under very suspicious circumstances. He grew to lament Cashmeres and how it views knights as fuel for propaganda, either for the use of them in tournaments to take sponsors, or for their patriotism when, in reality, Cashmeres is corrupt and far from the image they try to exude. And Gregor lost people he's close with too. Some speculate he even lost his sister. But they're both viewed as noble symbols for war. Gregor hates it because he despises war, and Mlynar hates it because he believes chivalry and knightly glory are all facades to what reality actually holds. But then there's the ego I'm most excited to talk about, Kelshi Faust. Just want y'all to know, on my video I made some years ago talking about which sinner would get what identity for this collab, I called this shit. I was a pioneer. Project Moon specifically went to that video for inspiration on this. Probably not, considering it's the most obvious fucking choice for an ego, but that's neither here nor there. I will take full credit for it, you are welcome. But Kelshi is a very difficult character to explain, so this will be spoilers up till chapter
Oh, more
15
spoilers,
of
okay.
Arknights. Skip to here if you don't want to be spoiled. Kelshi is a creation of Priestess and Oracle. She was known as Amma 10, and her purpose is best shown in the cutscene that plays in the game if you disagree with Priestess in the debate ARG. In it, Oracle gave Amma 10 the name of Kelshi, believing that Amma 10 is just a codename, a mechanical identifier, and she should have a true name. Then they told her to protect Terra as they slept in the sarcophagus, to make sure life on it can thrive. While it may be arrogant to interfere with a civilization, this is their last chance. They cannot fail. They need Terra to progress to a point where there is a chance to survive the observers. And Oracle gave the job to Kelshi. With her Gemini cycle, she can live forever. And on that path where she watches over Terra, she can guide them. But Oracle stops, looks at her, and thinks about the mission they are putting her on, and instead says, "No. Forget what I just said, Kelshi. All of it. Go, Kelshi. Look around you. Then see what lies by the most distant of mountains. Go seek what forms existence takes. I must go back. Wake me up when you need to. Kelshi, I hope you'll... Or maybe I should say, the only mission I assign to you now is this. Find yourself. Search for traces of life. Search for hope and a future. Kelshi, go find your own answer." The final mission she was assigned was to find the meaning of life. That is what her creator asked her to do, and she spent over thousands of years wandering the land in search of it, and she came to love Terra. While the land and the people may have flaws, she came to love it and oppose Originium to ease the suffering of the land, going against the way to survive the observers, but it was the choice she made for her own life, from her own answer. And this culminated in Kelshi making plans to resist and, with the help of Monster, fought against Priestess after she broke free from Rhodes Island. But beating Priestess was impossible, because she has full control of Originium, and with that power, she manipulated the Originium crystals on Kelshi's body to consume her, and shattered her to the wind. Kelshi found her meaning in life, to protect her because of her love for it, and fought till her death.
She just
for
fucking
it.
died?
But sometime after Rhodes Island fell, the Doctor and Amia had taken hold of the crystal monster left behind. They went out into a field to see what would happen with it, and then life sprung forth from it. Monster, now human. And this is who Phos' ego is actually based on. She's not meant to be Kelshi in it. She is Monster.
Oh!
There's two reasons that show it. One is that Kelshi appears in the ego cutscene and commands Phos rather than Phos commanding Monster. And the other is the line of the ego.
멈추지 않는 시대에서 희망과 미래를 찾아 스스로 답을 구하시길.
That is what she said to Monster in a voice recording that would play in the event Monster was freed from the Gemini cycle that kept Amma 10 alive throughout her thousands of years going throughout Terra. She was given the ability to be free and find her own answer to life, and gave that possibility to Monster. It was honestly one of the most beautiful scenes in Arknights, and I'm glad it was brought up here for the ego. And the connection for the ego is that Monster knows everything about the world from the eyes of Kelshi, but she hasn't lived it all. Like Phos knows seemingly everything from the Gesellschaft, but
Yeah, well,
hasn't
she
lived
doesn't.
it.
Yeah, she hasn't been there
There
yet.
isn't too much more to expand on because we don't know that much more about Phos. Her canto is still yet to happen, but I'm sure when it does, this ego is going to be even more fitting. And for the last one to break down, Honglu with the ego for Ling. The connection is that they both like poems. Okay, so that is it for the video. Glad y'all came out.
No, there's no way that's the whole. No, really? All of that matching perfectly. Hulu, like, oh yeah, they both just like to read poems, of course. Why not?
And
Really, they went for
I'm
that?
just kidding, but like,
Oh.
okay, to be honest, I really don't remember anything about Ling. Like, I read her event, read the event after that. Bro had like 30 lines collectively. She doesn't talk. I know there is apparently a connection to Buddhism and Taoism, but the only thing I know when it comes to that is the one world religion class I took in grade 11, so I'm sorry. I'm sure there's a connection, but I do not know it. The most I can say as of now is that Ling is either at there or very close to enlightenment. So she feels like what Hong Lu could be at the end of his journey. If he has just started accepting himself and accepting his emotions, Ling is what we can hope is the end destination after all is said and done. But aside from that, I fear there is not much more I can say when it comes to this connection because Ling is very much a recluse when it comes to her appearances in the story. But that is it for all of the breakdowns, and honestly, the quickest way possible I could have done it. There was not a way to make this video shorter and explain all that I wanted to, which,
yeah,
I mean,
it was a lot of story.
For because I fucking adore Arknights, so any chance I have to praise it and talk about it,
that's really cool that his passion for this series was able to do it.
I was worried it was gonna be bland, boring, or something that I just think about and go, oh, yeah, that collab was nice. But Project Moon blew all of those worries out of the water. They made a story that is such a love letter to Arknights while still being incredibly enjoyable to people who haven't played it. And that is so hard to do. But if you have played it, the collab evolves into more than just a great crossover for Limbus, but something that hits deeply to the main plot. I would have liked seeing more character interactions between Rhodes Island and Limbus, and hell, maybe just seeing more Arknights characters in general. But aside from that, this collab was a masterpiece to me. I'm glad it came from a place of love.
Oh, okay, that was actually really good. Okay, I can finally understand what the fuck's going on with the collab. Okay, I mean, I think I understand way more about Arknights too, because the whole deep sea thingy and all the stuff, like, it was really like, I didn't expect that to happen at all. Place of love. Ruina reference. Actually, the whole beat is a library of Ruina reference you're supposed to be. But yeah, a weird thing about the Arknights collab is that just that Mersol has heard Carbon's voice before in a story you can no longer access. Oh, I mean, they say that the story is not canon. Like, the main thing about the Arknights collab, it's supposed to be a non-canon event. Unquote non-canon, because surprisingly everything in Limbus company is canon. They have like an explanation about it, you know. But it is so cool that how much information there was behind the lore, like even between the characters besides Hong Lu, because honestly, I mean I'm glad they didn't show up all about Hong Lu because I don't know anything about it. But it is cool that even people who play Arknights like were able to say, like, okay, yeah, this event has actually it was well planned. There was a reason behind it, you know. Tremor guy versus Sancho, who will win? Sancho 100%. I believe in my boy Sancho. But yeah, honestly, it's really cool. Like, maybe one day, because I know Enfield is coming out soon on PC, and I heard that Arknight is gonna finally have, like, a PC client coming out soon. Like, I remember I saw on Twitter that Arknight is supposed to have, like, a PC client approved, unquote, approved. So, maybe one day, I might give it a chance to Arknight again, and actually, like, give it a first attempt at the game. Because the story seems to be amazing, but man, the tower defense. The tower defense is just But are no canon events have foreshadowed future Limbus story events, if I recall correctly. Yeah. Sancho, I mean, I know Sancho from the boys, because I have the boys for my team and stuff like that. But yeah. Honestly, I want to play Arknight, but I really want them to release the PC, because I already had like planned to play the Enfield because RPG, fun RPG, hahaha. But I really want them to like actually have like a proper PC release, because I don't want to be like in an emulator playing the game. I really wonder if that happens. Maybe when that happens, I will give it a try. But yeah, that was a fun video. I like it. I enjoy watching more about Arknight's story, like the whole thingy behind the story. Because there was some stuff that I wanted to know more about the characters. When Major is historian, they start talking about the boys, and Mersol says there is more to the sunshine than is warmed. Oh, so that's what you meant about Carmen. Oh. Oh, I see. Okay, so now that we watched this video that I was waiting a long time to watch, let's watch something else.